Since you guys have asked me about VRChat, and because I personally have been using Warudo and not VRChat, I don't really know much about it, other than, like, you know, there's, like, people at VRChat meetups, and it's crazy.
Do you know the way?
So today, I wanted to learn more about it. This is called Why VRChat is the Worst by Royalty here. As a 3D VTuber, I have not gone into the depths. I have no knowledge of it other than it exists and some crazy stuff has happened on there.
It doesn't know the way.
So I'm about to get learned, okay?
Huh? Kaboom!
So if you don't know what VRChat is, I'm guessing you've known the touch of a physical, breathing human that cares for you and you're a respectable, contributing person to society.
Whoa, okay. I was worried there. I'm definitely not that. I've heard of VRChat, so whew. I didn't want all those expectations on me.
Normal status of mental health, and people love to be around. You have a future that looks bright and warm. Right, so if we're talking about the average VRChat player, I want you to take all of what I just said, throw it out the window, flip the table, and your expectations for what a decent human being is. Make sure to call your doctor for an express order of Prozac, because this is going to be a ride you'd have wished you forgot. Or an ego boost for you narcissists out there, because who would have thought a game about socializing with people around the world through the power of virtual reality would cause so many problems? Probably worse than the phase where femboys were shoving cold beverages up their anus.
What?
This actually was a trend, and I'm...
No, why? Why is that a trend? No, that's not where that goes. That's not where that goes. What?
Unfortunate enough to know about it. I've not looked at a monster cam the same way ever since, but it's better than the raccoon anus copy pasta.
I beg your pardon? Do I want to know? The what?
Not looked at a monster cam the same way ever since, but it's better than the raccoon anus copy pasta.
So raccoons can literally get inside your... I only been here 50 seconds, and like my mind is... It's like expanding.
How many raccoons can you fit up your asshole?
No.
But as a disclaimer, not all VRChat players are as worse as Reddit or Discord mods, in a way you can't smell them from around the corner, and most people do not brag they are a VRChat player.
I don't think I've ever seen... I didn't know you could find, like, a Reddit mod in the wild like that. I assumed you'd never be able to smell them because they don't go outside.
Meaning they're among the population and we just don't know it. But as a disclaimer, not all VRChat players are bad. It's just the small majority.
I like how he said that, you know, the phrase is a small minority of people are like that. The small majority. What is this?
Which is an oxymoron now that I think about it. But some of the VRChat players do generally just get on the game to have fun and socialise and make new friends. And that's it. But the other activities that occur in the game, which I wish was just a small percentage of the population, and after hearing what I have to say, might make you want to waterboard yourself with alcohol tonight.
Oh boy.
Where's the money, Lebowski? You want that money, Lebowski? Bunny says you're good for it. Where's the fucking money, shithead?
It's down there somewhere. Let me take another look.
Which is a majority of what VRChat players do whilst playing the game anyway. Or if you even think for an atom of a second that the problems I present about this game sounds like your cup of stagnant piss, stop watching the video, check yourself into Guantanamo Bay, and ensure no internet service provider will ever provide any access close to the World Wide Web to you ever again. But once
I like how serious this guy talks while saying the funniest things. Like, he's so deadpan with how he speaks, but he says the funniest stuff.
Again, for the final
Just
time,
like,
not all VRChat
he's
players are
spitting
like
over
this. And if your friend confesses they play VRChat, you don't have to treat them like a pile of liquid dog feces in the middle of summer. If you know, you know. Because the worst thing they've ever done is
I do not know. And honestly, I feel like... I feel proud that I don't, honestly. I feel like that's a good thing.
An avatar posing as the opposite gender to experiment, I guess. And harass the many people that go to public lobbies and openly show their affection of one another when there are kids in the lobby. And I'm not just talking about a kiss on the cheek.
Wait a minute. Alright, I get the whole, like, think of the children argument, but isn't VRChat rated, like... What's VRChat's rating? Oh, yeah. I think that it's weird that it's not 18 plus. I assumed it was. Alright, well that should not be a thing. Okay.
Your little pussy belongs to me.
No!
And you're gonna learn to do what I fucking tell you to.
So in reality, your friend's not that bad. Just check what they do.
Is there a full-grown adult status that says I'd like to stay away from that? Can I have a license to be just a baby? I don't feel like as an adult I deserve that emotional damage. I don't deserve. So you're telling me as an adult that I have to be subject to such cringe?
In VRChat, I guess. But if you generally don't know what VRChat is, it launched back in January of 2014 and initially was available on Steam, but you can only fully experience the game with a VR headset.
I already have to pay taxes, chat, please.
If not, you'd be made fun of by the people that spent $1,000+ on VR headsets and full body tracking. But it was initially designed to be a social environment where you communicate with people around the world, play little mini games, have fun, make friends, and probably make your own worlds and avatars. Oh, how we strayed from the path.
Whoa! What is that Bow? Man.
Original design. But that is the original premise of what the game was meant to be. But back in 2014, the game was not an instant success like it is now. Because once again, you needed a VR headset to get the full experience, and this was before the VR craze where every gaming company was making their own VR game. But VRChat, when it initially launched, there wasn't very much to do. There were a few minigames and a few worlds you could go to, but the main point is you just talk to people. I guarantee people with social anxiety just vomited in their mouth thinking about that. But VRChat was a community-run game. The worlds were created by players. And
right, so this is basically just like a creative software where like people can generate worlds and stuff like that, and it's open mic. Which I feel like most games that are like socially based where anyone could talk in it end up getting degenerate. Like it's like I could predict this a mile away.
Without the players, you had no worlds. But that was just VRChat in its infancy.
You're gonna get like infinite amounts of creativity, and then you're gonna also get infinite amounts of down bad weirdos.
1% of its power. Because as the years went on and the game got bigger
you
and
can't
bigger,
choose one,
it
you
got
have to
a
have
whole
both.
lot worse. And would be a breeding ground for degenerates and borderline illegal activities.
See, that's what I would be doing for the first. Hold on.
Activities.
This would be me. This is what I would like to join for.
But I'll talk more about that later. VRChat was still an itty-bitty spam cell compared to what it would be. Around the 2014 to 2016 period, there wasn't really much to do in the game. It had a loyal player base that just loved talking to each other, but nothing to spread its legs and entice more people to play it. But in early 2016, the HTC Vive launched, which was the first good quality headset. I'm sorry all the original Oculus users out there. But mine's lasted about 5 years.
HTC Vive was the better one for sure.
It's almost dead. And with the launch of this new headset came a bunch of new games as well. Admittedly, all of them were a bit staggered. In 2016, you had Job Simulator, which was pretty fun.
Oh, yeah!
In 2017, you had Pavlov, which, if you're a gun enthusiast, you'd probably love, but if you're not, you'd probably fail to operate even a hand grenade.
I'd probably just throw up from motion sickness, but to be fair, I did that with the, like, whatever, that food simulator one, too. I could not exist in these 3D spaces without feeling, like, so motion sick.
No. And then in 2018, you had the launch of Beat Saber.
This is the only game I was ever able to play without being sick.
Which is probably the game everyone bought a headset for, just so they could live out their primal instincts of wanting to be a Jedi slashing shit. But when you wanted to take a break from these games and you still wanted to be in VR, what would you do? You'd play VRChat, so you could speak to other people that...
Yeah, so I tried all of those games, but I never tried VRChat. And, like, to be honest, I didn't really know much about it, but also, like, I was very not about VR after I got so motion sick. Like, once I found, like, Beat Saber, I was like, well, at least I can play something in here.
Put themselves into poverty from just buying this headset. And it was around this time that VRChat started to see more people playing it, and as a result, content creators. I myself liked watching Chips play this game because he and his group was pretty funny.
So when am I getting some dicking?
Whoa.
I think now they do VRChat roleplay or something. I haven't checked in a while. But looking back during the 2018 period, it was weird how obsessed I was with watching VRChat streamers.
Is this what you do now, Meech? Some fucking weird age play shit? Weird age play shit. We're not fucking each other. You're the fucking weird one out of the two of us, you fucking freak.
Oh
Mainly
my.
just chips and nuts.
Is that Cottontail VA? Is this Cottontail caught in 4K by like a secondary source?
Anyone within their circle? But seeing all these content creators create content on VRChat and have fun based on the encounters and the people they met, it made a lot of other people want VR headsets as well, just to play VRChat. I was one of them that made that mistake. And before that I would have considered myself normal, until VRChat opened its anus and swallowed me whole and did my naivety, milked me of any purity I'd left.
This guy, he's got a way with words.
The only reason I'm adding you is so I can bully you more.
Okay, I'll accept.
Yes, I'm a victim of VRChat, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh,
it was also in the 2018 period where the Ugandan Knuckles meme started.
I know the way. Do you know the way?
Oh! Did this start in VRChat or did it just get overly popularized in VRChat?
I know the way.
You have to have Ebola to know the way.
Oh my, the stretching on his face! It's the uncanniness of the model that makes it twice as funny.
I know people in the 18 to 28 age range think the memes like Skibbity Toilet, Ohio, Riz, Sussy, which saying out loud sounds like hieroglyphics, but majority of people within that age range think those memes are absolute nonsense, but the memes we had was Ugandan Knuckles, where a little Sonic character would spit on women.
He's kind of spitting here. Like, we get upset about the Skibbity, but then we have, like, the do you know the way. You know, it's like, I think there's, like, they're both brain rot. It's just what brain rot you find acceptable.
Sort of like recent years. But we also had MLG montages, which were, you can't even say they were shit. They were like the godfather of memes. And let's not forget Who Touched My Spaghetti.
Somebody touch my spaghetti!
Take me back. But with the popularity
Yeah,
of
I saw that, but I didn't really know, like, where it came from.
Ugandan Knuckles taking over every corner of the internet back in 2018, people started watching more VRChat content. But this
Oh my god, this one's a huge boy.
It also increased the number of people streaming and making content in VRChat. This was before VRChat TikTok was a thing.
Begin audio prompt in 3, 2, 1.
But this included
I see stuff like that on TikTok still, like, to this day.
content creators like Drumsy, Ladle, Rafflegator, Lolthon, and more. Most of them have descended into being alcoholics, but who wouldn't when you probably found out your VRChat girlfriend wasn't actually a mute IRL, just a 40-year-old guy wearing adult diapers with more cottage cheese than a cheese factory around their cock. That wasn't based on a personal event, by the way.
That was very specific. What?
With the popularity of VRChat increasing, the community got hard at work making new worlds and avatars, which would
Okay, to be fair, I feel like any online community has, like, this type of risk. You know what I'm saying? Like, any online game has people that are acting like they're different than who they actually are online. Like,
bring a lot of benefits and inconveniences. Oh, your friend just got a new avatar that goes over the poly limit. That's fine for the first few seconds, till you start hearing your PC reading its own obituary in the form of all case fans and GPU fans spinning at their max RPM. And this problem got worse till people actually started making avatars that could not only crash you, but brick your VR headset in the process.
Oh my god!
And sometimes your PC.
Bro.
But there were a lot of meme avatars created around that time that utilized the 3D space to its advantage. But it also led to the eventual creation of avatars that could get naked, which opened Agatha's gates to the degeneracy that would come.
I like how it was eventually. Did it really take that long? I feel like I'm surprised it didn't happen, like, right out the gate.
However, with the creation of new avatars and worlds, it brought about the involvement of inclusivity. You could get avatars that assisted people with sign language, so if you were actually mute or deaf, you could actually communicate. There were worlds
that's kind of sweet. I never even thought about that.
Groups where people could share their interests, like the fairy worlds, where as soon as you join, you'd probably get harassed, or be a part of the 6th intentional crash within that hour. I think fairies were attacked most during this period, but towards the beginning of 2019, the hype kind of died down a little, but you still had regulars playing the game and the advancement in avatars and worlds being made. But the next major blow-up for VRChat was in early 2020, where everyone was inside because of the COVID pandemic. Everyone thought it was just for 2 weeks, but then the weeks turned into months, and the months turned into eventual years. And things got pretty lonely. You couldn't see your friends, you couldn't do much outside because everything was either closed or restricted, and online schooling was about as useful as Braille Playboy. Like seriously, were they supposed to be like attracted to how deep the crevices of the page were?
What the heck? What? Yeah, that's a good question. What the heck? What is written in here?
But there was one place where you could socialize and sort of visually see people. Can you guess what it was? If your guess was Epstein Island, go in the corner and ram your toenail into the nearest toothpick. No, it was VRChat.
I did not think that way at all, actually.
It was a whole lot different. There was now full body tracking supplied by Vive.
Oh, wow. Interesting. So it took them this long before they actually got to the point where it was full body. So before then, were they just using their mics? Did they have upper body tracking?
So if you were rich,
I hadn't thought about the fact that they didn't really have a lot of tracking early on.
Or just looking to impress people, just by your now functioning legs, I guess you could do that.
My God,
Yippee!
I can walk.
Hand and head for the most part. Oh, okay.
But most people just sat down with them anyway. There was a club scene where you could find the smallest reason, and I mean the microscopic of reason, to crack open a bottle of spirits and drink your sorrows away, whilst being surrounded by people doing the same. And in these clubs, you could also see people dancing, having the time of their lives. With the
Is this when, like, a bunch of other... I feel like I see like the MMO, like Final Fantasy 14 now that has like a huge RP scene. It's like they were looking at this like, we need to write this down. We need this community to play our MMO.
benefit of full body tracking. But what's that over there? Is that somebody getting a lap dance?
Oh my.
Yes, lap dances were a thing in these club worlds, and they were accessible to just about anyone. But don't worry, there was a warning when you joined.
Oh my god. Don't be a nuisance! Oh my god. Look at this.
That if you was not the age of 18 or over, you could not proceed, which could be easily swatted away with a click of the accept button.
I mean, that's with anything though, right? Like, technically you could do that on Twitch too. I feel like you gotta have parents at that point paying attention to what you do. But also the site itself says it allows, like,
Wow, that's a lot of words.
Too bad I'm not reading them.
Too bad I'm not reading them.
But these lap dances were a part of the existing and rising NSFW part of VRChat. But I guess some of them were kind of impressive, to the point where people installed poles in their rooms just so they could do that.
Christ!
E-boys foaming at the mouth like they had fucking rabies. But why are there private rooms in these worlds? Obviously so people could change their avatars in private. God, women need their privacy. But more about that problem later. But apart from clubs, we also saw Twitch streamers and YouTubers return, with one of the best moments, and a clip I absolutely love, being from XQC.
The choose. The big whale at the back. Big whale. No.
There is so many people talking. Oh, I always think I'm like a very social person until I get in a room with people being this loud and I'm like, never mind. I got maybe 5 minutes tops in here before I need to like stick my head under the ground in the dirt to get away.
Snorlax, I did not choose you. Get the fuck off the stage.
And they put on full display how VRChat has changed and developed from 2018 to now 2020. So more people bought VR headsets and installed VRChat. More avatars, wilds, minigames, and memes graced the community. You could now watch full movies and YouTube videos with your friends in movie worlds. You could play Town of Salem and even D&D in the game. Virtual dating became somewhat normal now, and you could now also show your friends your virtual genitals. Through the power of community-made avatars,
technology.
But they were still in development.
Oh my god.
I can put it in my face.
My eyes!
Yeah, you're a loser, that's why.
It would get much, much worse.
It's so cursed because like you could see them just clipping through everything. It's so just like uncanny valley.
What a time to be alive it was, and I wasn't immune from it.
How are you doing?
Dude, I wasn't expecting actually meeting someone famous.
Bro, royalty, you got titties, bro.
Oh,
you got some nice titties, bro. You got some.
No!
Yes, that's me.
Stop! Not the Battlefront map sounds. Stop!
Before you say anything or comment, "Oh, royalty, I didn't know you were a femboy," First of all,
Objection!
Your Honor, I'm not a femboy. I have a body of a preschooler Arnold Schwarzenegger. And second of all, this was my first time back on VRChat after a while. I needed to know what had changed, including the jiggle physics and clothing options, but apparently most of those new things at the time were only available on female models. Hence why most people wore female avatars around that time. I'm not joking, by the way. Most good avatar features always released first on feminine models.
That makes
Masculine
sense.
ones always had to take some time to catch up. And my final point, Your Honor.
I mean, it makes sense, right? It's kind of the same in video games. Whenever you have waifus, they always take precedence. It's like that's the one that you get first.
Look, I have 3,000 hours on VRChat.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
I'll be honest, I'm glad I'm in the passenger seat and I didn't have to experience this firsthand. I like that I just get to look in on somebody else and the trauma they went through, and I just get to be like, ah, okay, that's interesting, you know?
No.
Wait. Before you gear me up for execution, most of those hours are from COVID and some hours after COVID, where I'd have occasional phases where I'd play it again. Just like how you and your friends get a Minecraft server and grind the shit out of it for night and day, then one day after you accidentally killed your friend's dog, accidentally, started a civil war that left the crater deeper than the Mariana Trench.
I can't relate because I don't play Minecraft either. I can't tell if I'm missing out or I saved myself from needing therapy.
Where your friend's house used to be. Then you all just stopped playing and forget about the server altogether. Bit of a long anecdote, but it was sort of like that. All I did was make friends on this game and not even bully the degenerates. It was kind of just fun to observe them. They mostly resembled the chimpanzees at the zoo, and yes, they did throw their shit at each other. But I know so much about VRChat because I've been around for most of its phases. But now it's 2021 and COVID is still around, but people have learned to live with it. Taking a mask with you to places was normal, and having friends across the world is somewhat normal. People still got in VRChat, a lot more people were hooked since the spike of COVID, and a lot more people were buying expensive headsets and full body. Drinking and clubbing was thriving, but one more thing was increasing and becoming normal.
Oh, stop
within
that
the game,
again.
and that was ERP. So you find someone you really like in VRChat, you enjoy talking to them, you can't touch them, and you can't be intimate with them. Except for text RP, but that's just cringe. But you both play VRChat, and some people have what is called phantom sense, where their brain is so void of brain cells they actually feel when people touch them in VR. That was a joke. It was a bit mean, but that was a joke. Well, you either download or get someone to hook you up with an avatar that has DPS for ERP. What's DPS, you ask?
What?
It stands for Dynamic Penetration System.
What?
Where basically, there are shaders for an avatar that lets you interact with the shaders from another avatar. You see where I'm going here, and if not, we need to read a book. So people would get these avatars, go to a private world or private room, and you know,
I need to lay down. I didn't know this happened. I mean, it makes sense, okay? I feel like you could connect the dots, right? It's like you could connect the dots, but I didn't actually realize they were doing 1v1 a sausage RP like this, okay? I just hadn't thought of it.
Shag.
I'm about to come up.
But in reality, they were just in the room stroking their meat. And this is ERP, or erotic roleplay. But it's surprising to know that ERP has started seeping into games like Roblox, which is borderline terrifying. Things like this was normal, and it was normal to show affection in VRChat public lobbies, with things like head pats while staring at a mirror. This brought about the creation of mirror dwellers, where people will sit in front of a virtual mirror for hours because...
Isn't this just narcissism? What?
This brought about the creation of mirror dwellers, where people will sit in front of a virtual mirror for hours because one, they can see themselves and everyone around them, and they can also feel immersed if somebody starts getting touchy-feely with their head. Oh my god.
Do they not have the ability to, like, see themselves in a POV outside of their character yet? Do they not have, like, third person? So now they're using mirrors in order to experience, like, third person in some way? Because, like, I feel like you could just turn, like, you could just... I'm guessing that's why, right? Do they have mods now where you can, like, take a camera outside yourself, or no? I'm guessing it's, like, gotten a lot further since then, but that's crazy.
If you join a world nowadays, you'll probably see a ton of them by the mirror anyway. Think I'm wrong, I probably got the speedrun world record for this. Right, start the clock, start the clock, start the clock.
What?
Stop the clock. So ERP was normalized and even had assets to improve the experience. But as I've said multiple times, this gets much, much worse with the introduction of Discord servers and tools you could attach to your genitals to sync to VRChat.
Oh my god. It's not degenerate enough for them. They're like, I need more. I need more.
I love technology and how almost 40 years ago we thought we'd
Gaping hole of greed.
But no, we can vibrate your dick.
Oh Jesus, in more ways than one. I didn't realize. Okay, I work on my phrasing from now on. Right.
When it touches your virtual girlfriend. Where and when did we stray from the path of God? But these things came in all shapes and sizes, and there were mods you can implement to not only sync them, but improve the quality of life in VRChat.
What is coming in all shapes and sizes?
We stray from the path of God. But these things came in all shapes and sizes.
Okay, so I actually wasn't further in the gutter than what the video was talking about. Okay, alright.
But these things came in all shapes and sizes.
Unfortunate.
There were mods you can implement to not only sync them, but improve the quality of life in VRChat. Because the game was terrible when it came to optimization and overall quality. You even had mods that made the game look better, and so you could steal anyone's avatar in a lobby, or just search for it now. Oh, you worked for 500 hours and sold your left kidney working on a VRChat model? Don't give a fuck. Mine now. But it's safe to say this game had evolved from apes to Planet of the Apes with expensive equipment and vibrating butt plugs. But remember when I mentioned
I mean, I feel like that sums up all of humanity pretty well. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, boys and girls, but this is humanity. If an alien came down from space and said, like, what are humans? That would be the TLDR I'd give, honestly.
Discord servers, like a minute ago. You ready? Because it gets much worse. There are Discord servers you can join for ERP events, which were sponsored by the companies making the vibrating long-distance tools, and you thought wearing a tail with a butt plug was bad. Private orgies were a thing, and events where you could meet someone for a one-night stand.
Man, so they were double dipping. They were like, oh yeah, we'll make these events for you while we shamelessly market our, like, items we have. Yeah, that's some salesmanship.
In VRChat. These servers had a bio section where you could describe yourself and your kinks, so if your hobby was sticking tadpoles down your foreskin, you found the perfect place. But majority of the time people posted their bios to find someone, you know, to love them, or just someone to spend time with. And there was even a channel dedicated to just meeting up and fucking. Guys, it's called Tinder. If you can
I was gonna say, did Tinder exist, or...
And girls using it anyway. But some people posting their bios generally just wanted friends or someone to hang around with, which is perfectly understandable. COVID was a lonely time for most of us. And even without COVID...
I feel like the worst thing, though, is probably if you were in here to, like, find friends, you were gonna find some ding-dongs in your DMs, not just personality-wise, you know?
People are allowed to be lonely and reach out for attention or friends. But admittedly, I have a guilty pleasure of looking at these bios sometimes. Because every once in a while you'll find one of them so outlandish, because it makes you wonder what kind of insane person wrote this, or was it even a person? But I'm going to read some out for you.
Oh, obviously, I'm sure this is a human, alright? I'm sure the more depraved it is, the more I know that's a person.
A lot of sexual shit in this, and I'll try my best to make the person anonymous. Okay, on our first one, they're in their 30s, male and straight, and they're looking for a girl that is an extreme sub. Usually in the bios, this is just ordinary information. But the juicy part is when you get into the extra information section. Because it goes downhill from here. I'm 6'2", have a nice big D as a plus. I'm good looking IRL. Just stand out if you're on...
this is all 100% true. Trust.
The VRChat dating fucking section in the bios. What the fuck? I'm addicted to erotic stimulation. I love playing with my expensive, full-sized, big-titty silicone sex doll. While you watch, I'll become one of them. I need a slave who would like to be treated like one. That's just one bio. Believe me, these type of bios are rare. There are a lot of normal bios out there. But when you find one
What does a normal one look like? Oh!
fucked up, you find one that's fucked up. Okay, on to the last and final one, because reading this out makes me want to wash my mouth out with soap. This person is in their mid-20s, they're single and gender fluid. This person is looking for cuddles, friends with benefits, and general ERP, and they're mainly looking for someone that is feminine. Now on to the extra information part, they have a daddy kink and a mommy kink. They love big doms, but not edgy ones, and they like feet.
Oh, no!
That wasn't as bad as the first one. It was actually rather tame compared to the first one and the other ones in here. But there's your little crack sample. A lot of these people are just looking for someone to do this stuff with, and genuinely find something they are missing in their life. Like a sex doll. But what else could have happened in 2021?
Yeah, there was a very specific thing they were looking for, alright?
VRChat an even worse place to play in. Well, I'm glad you asked. Because back in 2019, the Oculus Quest came out. It was a standalone headset and it did not need a PC to help it. It had very limited cords except for when you needed to charge it, meaning you could probably run around with it on. So with all those benefits tied together, who would the player base for the Quest be? If you guessed children, ding ding ding, you have more than one functioning brain cell. Parents would love to just strap this onto their kid's head and not have to worry about them for about 1 to 5 hours. But thank God.
I guess I didn't really think about like who the target audience was for these. I guess I assumed older than kids because like they were so expensive, I felt like.
Everything I've described wasn't available to them until it was in early 2021. So now you had children running around in the fiery landscape that was VRChat.
Oh gosh.
But it's okay. The VR headsets were that shit they couldn't load most avatars. That's why they had separate avatars called Quest avatars. So they couldn't see like naked avatars or anything. Until better versions of the Quest and avatar creators managed to get around that. So some Quest users could get around that now and wear avatars
technology
that are
keeps
optimized
developing. That's the problem.
Show their dick, along with some avatars that could only crash Quest users because they were majority of the time kids, so they're kind of annoying. But sometimes they would crash someone that was using a Quest that wasn't a kid or annoying, and there goes that person forever. But time for my daily phrase of it gets much, much worse.
No!
Once again, another disclaimer, I'm going to be talking about some terrible stuff. So you have fully fledged adults and children together, what would happen? Of course it would lead to a rise in stuff like grooming. Because of the fact kids are naive and parents didn't know what their kids were doing on the headset. I
don't know how you just give your child a headset and you don't ever look into what they're doing. That's crazy. What the heck? Have fun, Billy!
Saw the rise of such things as VRChat families. So you normally had older people acting like they were parents and then younger people like brothers and sisters, which is great for kids that are neglected by their parents, but it gets a lot more cringier when you have like an adult person that is no way related to this person and they are scolding them. But it sounds kind of wholesome till you realise it's an opportunity for grooming, but once again, not all VRChat families were like this. I personally found the VRChat family thing kind of weird, especially since a complete stranger is acting like a father figure or mother figure.
I don't like interacting with kids. Right? Especially if you're in a dynamic where you don't know. It's just, you're in a room and you're talking and you don't know if everyone in the room is, like, all adults or not. Just,
Once again, some kids were neglected from that. But onto the weird side of it all, you had such things as supposed grooming rings. And an infamous example of this is Tech Gangster. I did a previous video on him on a different channel. But essentially, he would groom children in public worlds in front of everyone and even ERP with them in front of everyone.
Do you think I'm fucking playing with you? Do you think I'm fucking playing with you?
Oh, I can't. Skip!
Do you fucking hear what the fuck?
To this day, still defending on TikTok, and he is still alive and well in VRChat. Because they haven't banned his IP and they can keep recreating his account. And some people in his inner circle are generally just as worse as him. They see no problem with what he's doing. They generally just ignore it sometimes. And VRChat moderation is all around terrible. But that is the summary of that and the extent I'm going to talk about that. There are other VRChat videos that go in more depth about this. Something else I wanted to talk about.
I'm good. I like to just scratch the surface and not go through the trauma, you know?
VRChat TikTok.
I believe it.
Where you had some generally amazing meme creations using the 3D space to their advantage. Even I created some TikToks at some point. Yeah, I know. I'm dying of cringe as well.
Snake bites hurt. Now listen to this. I pierced my dick
Oh,
Oh my lord.
Where?
Completely lost.
why you? Which one is the naked Undertale?
I was just branching out in
Lord.
content, okay? But my petty excuses to the side, you also had the bad side of it, which was VRChat's thirst traps.
Oh,
or just
no.
extremely sexualized TikToks made by people under the age of 18.
My
Here I
eyes!
am loading my 44 revolver as well. And you're probably wondering, well, you know, it's a VRChat avatar, it's not actually them doing this.
Not,
but it gives the
don't
opportunity
show
for
me it
groomers to
again!
swoop in and, you know, comment on their shit or take advantage of them. But my general hypocritical opinion is that, you know, TikTok is brain rot anyway. But that was VRChat from 2021 to 2023. It didn't really change much. And now VRChat
See,
is...
I've breezed past all of this brain rot. I have not... I have managed to go... I have managed to not have any of this affect me.
turning 10 years old. I generally had a lot of fun in this game, and have met so much amazing people in this game, but as with all things, as they get older and as they advance, it stops being the same game you started playing. VRChat has definitely changed, and has brought a lot of benefits and disadvantages with it, but the concept of just talking to people through the power of virtual reality is still there. And probably some point down the road, I'll probably go through a phase of getting back on again, but as of right now, that is VRChat.
Jeez!
Funny thing I've discovered about YouTube is if I scream like, the like button goes sort of like purplish or something. Or if I do the same with subscribe, subscribe, it goes purple as well. But I did spend a lot of time on this video, so either of them would be appreciated. Don't forget to leave a comment if you generally think my opinion is trash. I know some of the VRChat ERPers are going to be commenting, and all I can say tonight is, go touch a physical female, you loser.
Oh no!
Anyway, bye-bye.
The roast! Anyway, that was a great video. I'm very thankful for it, so I could just look, you know, I could just window shop these things without having ever experienced it. I'd be like, wow, that's crazy. I'm so glad I didn't have to see that firsthand. Fantastic! You know, I'll just watch it like a tourist. I've never been so happy to be a tourist ever. It's by Royalty is here. Make sure you guys give them a follow. Very good video. So glad I stayed blissfully unaware.